This show is brought to you by Finally TV and the Village Global Network, powered by Zeno.fm, with additional monitoring by Online Radio Box. And stay tuned for our sponsors.
House of Barbers, located right across the street from Marist College on Route 9. House of Barbers. Call today to get your fades, regular cuts, edge-ups, beards, hot towel shaves, apparel, and gift certificates for your loved ones. Open Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 4:30, late on Friday till 7, and again open on Saturday till 4:30. Contact Sal today for your appointment or just walk in. 845-232-5036, House of Barbers. Allcrete Concrete Placement LLC for all of your concrete needs, including installation and repair of driveways, garage floors, patios, sidewalks, walkways, stairs, stamped concrete, color, seal, and epoxy, all done by one company with almost 30 years of experience. Call today for your quote. Allcrete Concrete Placement LLC, 845-413-9459. Allcrete Concrete Placement LLC.
Ooh, it's finally TV, but you don't need cable or sling to see me. Black on his soapbox, Gabe in his bag. Let out some real black ink, load the 9 with the mag. First take, the last take, we can juggle the top. Like a barber with the clips, the way we talk in the shop. And since life is like a movie, we gon' stick to the plot. That's why we sponsored by the brand and scrape the white off the top. Get it? That means we dope. So I'm need my brothers and sisters to stay woke. And we gon' lace the product with facts and straight jokes. The voice of the valley is here to spread hope. Supports a steep slope. They gon' have to let me cook. I don't know how to stop. From the culture to the music, anything else hot. Catch us every Tuesday once you step in the house. Cause all they really wanna know, what we talking about. I'm out.
Ooh, and here we go. Another episode of What We Talking About.
It's so good to be back. Yo, what's going on, party people? It's your friendly neighborhood, Finally TV guys. Gabriel, what's going on, y'all? So happy to see y'all. Hit that like, hit that share for me. You already know what it is, because this algorithm is crazy, man. We're going to talk about algorithms and getting into it and catching the wave and being able to go. We're going to talk about a few things, and we'll go from there. So, but yeah, do me that favor, man. It's good to be back. What we talking about in effect. Heading into the season, we're gonna do a premiere right now with my boy Hollywood Herb is gonna step in as the co-host today. Black on hiatus. He says what's up. He will be back in the building with us eventually. He's just got some things he's squaring away. Life is grand for him. It is nothing a negative. Trust me. I see Sam out there on Instagram. I see King Jonas out in the building. Johannes in the building. I see the Crate Digger Hash join. Yo, I appreciate y'all on Instagram. If you enjoy the show, but you want to use your phone and do other things, this is for my Instagram people. Feel free to go over to my YouTube, all right? Finally TV YouTube, subscribe, and you could watch the show right there, minimize it, you know what I mean? And be able to do things on your phone. I know how IG be trying to do, y'all. I know how we be trying to do, y'all. So, and then you know what? It helps me out. It helps me out actually watching it on YouTube. It helps that algorithm too. And that one's a little bit more important because that's the one I'm trying to monetize. You know what I'm saying? So salute to everybody out here. I really do appreciate y'all. It's been so long since I've been back in this format and talking about this and doing what we talking about. And, I thought a lot about the show, you know what I mean? And, I want to bring y'all a nice, dope, fun experience, and I want you guys to be a little interactive and feel like, you part of the fam here. I know I talk a lot about getting support and just cashing in and checking out the show and all that. But the engagement would be cool too. You know what I mean? And we could all be as one, because I'm telling you right now, If I go, we all go, because I'm gonna be talking about this very area, everything we doing here. You know what I'm saying? So like, help me, help y'all. Let's get that. Let me back my face up a little bit. Why y'all like tell me I'm all up in your grill? Jesus Christ. Okay, so shout out to the sponsors though. You know who it be? It's All Crete. It's House of Barbers, man. Shout out to those two entities. All Crete concrete placement. It can basically do anything for you when it comes to concrete. So if you want to get up with that, just look them up on Facebook, call that number. I'll play the commercial again. And but All Crete concrete placement. If you Google that, it'll come up. Absolutely reputable company, 30 years of service, the whole nine, dope people. House of Barbers over there by Maris across the street. I think it was what was that? What's the like the fast food joint for barbers? Fast Cuts or Super Cuts? Isn't it Super Cuts? It's Super Cuts. Super Cut. It used to be Super Cuts, but now it's a real barbershop. House of Barbers. Shout out to Sal, you know what I mean? So shout out to those entities. And then, I'd be a little remiss if I didn't just touch on this real quick, because it does touch the soul a little bit, y'all. Just a quick moment of silence for a fallen friend, Mael Simpkins, for y'all that know him. He passed away on March 9th. Found him in his house type of deal, nothing crazy, natural causes, it seems like, but what a good dude, good brother. He was all about, uplifting, networking, and doing all types of cool things with different people and open mics and giving people shots and stuff. And as a matter of fact, he actually has one of the most viewed Voice of the Valley interviews that I have on my channel. He when I did his interview, I went to bed, he had like 100 and like something views, and when I woke up it was over 1,000. It was pretty remarkable. So we did good things together. He was a huge Transformers fan, and that just touched my heart, and we definitely vibed on that. We did a little skit with Optimus Prime and all that. So if you haven't watched it and you were a fan of Mael, man, and you didn't catch that Voice of the Valley, go look up Finally TV on YouTube. And yeah, man, I think you'll enjoy that. You know what I mean? So the other side of this, Boss, RIP Boss too, man. RIP Boss, RIP Mael and Boss, man. That's crazy. But I wanted to kick off the show, sometime in March. And like I said, Black is he's doing good things, and that's why he's not around right now. So he will be joining the show. But I had to keep it moving for y'all. You know what I mean? We got to keep the show moving. We got to keep that energy up, keep it right, keep it raw. So I went and I turned to somebody who's a Voice of the Valley alumni, interviewed him at one of his performances out in Newburgh, and it was a good time. It was a good time. We definitely vibe, had a dope little 20-something minute interview. You go check that out, Voice of the Valley. And this is for all these artists out here. If you have something going on and you want to talk about it, business owners and alike, hit me up for a Voice of the Valley interview, man. I want to talk about it. If you're not already subscribed to my YouTube, make sure you do that now. And I'm about to go check out these comments, man, because I got the comments popping and I'm ignoring y'all. I see Sam out here. I see Aloic. What's going on? I see Angie out here. You really like that patio? Yeah, that's that All Crete work, man. Hey, Angie, I see Wreck Boy shot in the building. Yo, I got my boy Build to the Skills, 91.3 in the building. Let me bring on my co-host. I'm gonna bring on Hollywood Herb. Herb, give me the thumbs up if you ready. He ready. Let's go.
Hollywood. Yeah, yo, what's up? What's up? We in the building. Finally TV. I'm finally back. It's an honor. Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead, do you think?
No, you ain't interrupt me, bro. Nah. Welcome back to the show. Thank you for I know you had to rearrange the busy schedule because you're always out here performing, and you were going to talk about that a little bit, but I do appreciate you coming back and spending some time with me, man. What you been up to?
I've been busy. I want to kick it off with shouting out Michelle, who took my shift. I thought my brain was messed up. I thought it was a rehearsal I had today. I'm actually working Thursdays and Tuesdays at Space Cat Brewery in Norwalk, Connecticut. I do bingo night on Tuesday. I do trivia on Thursday. Shout out Michelle. She you know what I mean? She came with the Abraham Lincoln energy and liberated the black man so I can come be on Finally TV. So shout out to her. I'm going to be in the building Thursday, of course. We're doing trivia, King Trivia, 7 p.m. If you in Norwalk, if you're not in Norwalk, if you just anywhere in Connecticut, come out. It's always a good time. They got a lot of prizes, a lot of good food. You know, if you like dogs, they got dogs everywhere, but it's all sanitary, you know, very rich dogs, manicured dogs with nice collars and all that. So you good.
Listen to you.
Yeah, you know, I'm just I'm trying to branch out. I'm trying to crack Connecticut, honestly, because I used to work out there a little bit. And I drive out in those neighborhoods, and bro, like how you would see Nissans and like Hondas in Newburgh is how you see Teslas and Porsches out there. So I'm trying to crack that market.
Yeah, Maseratis, Ferraris. Yeah, there's a Maserati dealership right across from the Hummer dealership. You know, there's a little stretch and there's a Lamborghini joint like 2 minutes down the road. Yeah, man, it's crazy out there.
So and I know they got tips paused for us and we go down there and perform. I know they got that bag, so that's what I'm trying to crack that market. You know what I mean?
That's it. That's a very smart strategy, I will say, sir. Nah, man, but it's dope to have you on here, man, and we could talk about. We got a bunch of things, man. So before we go further, make sure everybody in here minimize the video. Whatever you got to do, hit that like for me and hit that share. Just let people know we in here. It helps the algorithm. I am learning things about the algorithm, bro. Let's talk about it a little bit.
Please do. I need to learn all about that. I know nothing.
Yeah, man. So I've been messing around with like IG and like the reels and the shorts on YouTube because I got tired of people telling me that that's the way, that's the move, that's what everybody's doing. And it makes sense, right? Because we're in that like, microwave society where everything's got to be a quick hit and like visually appealing and then on to the next thing, So I start messing with my reels on Instagram, right? And for a little context, I haven't had a reel go beyond, say, never more than a G of reach, where people where it's been viewed, and then the likes will be a little like whatever, it might be like 50 something likes. I've never had a reel do more than that, and more regularly they would just be in like the mid like 200, 300, 400 views with like 20 likes. That's like a typical thing. Right.
That's still a flex. I know a lot of people that ain't doing that. So that's
but
something.
I feel you. We all got to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So remember, this is 6 years in the making. So I'm a little behind. So like, so now, right? I learned, I get some news off the internet, and I think the news is current news because the YouTube video that's loaded in front of me says uploaded 1 day ago. Right. Okay. So I'm like, oh, snap. And it's Pat Poose on a Funk Flex. Okay. And he's rapping. And if and I know the whole Remy Ma, the whole Easy to Block Captain, that whole scenario. So in the freestyle, Pap said something like, I left my old girl because she was a 2-timer. And I paused the video. I was like, no, he didn't respond. Like, finally, he said something. So I posted that, right? I said, yo, Pat Poose finally responds, holy moly, right? Yo. So it turns out that freestyle was old. It was just a repost, okay? So they got on me in the comments about, yo, G, this is old. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is old news. So I'm like, oh, nice, Monster. Shout out to Monster watching on YouTube, man. That's the homie right there. Angie says she loves bingo and dogs. That's why we gotta be in Connecticut.
Absolutely.
Yo, so I learned that it's an old freestyle, and it just kind of perfectly matched what we were dealing with currently. So that all makes sense. So I was like, yo, I'm posting on the comments like, yo, I know the internet got me because everybody's getting at me like, yo, this is old. But then there's other people that it's all new to them. So they're like, yo, thanks for the information, you the man.
Right.
Yo. If you go look at my IG right now, party people, right? Go to my IG, go to my reels, and scroll about a little bit, like 2 thumb scrolls, and you'll get to the Pat Poose one. It has, at last view count, it had 505,000 views and 6,000 likes, and like you don't even know. I had to turn the comments off, my G.
Wow, like big time. You big time.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, but check this out.
Right.
What's funny about that, okay, because let's take a step back. Finally TV is all about, shedding the light on artists like yourself that are dope, that don't have the big spotlight yet, that really deserve it. You know what I'm saying? It's all about, uplifting and being positive and networking and doing what you got to do, right?
Right.
All that work, all that good, honest effort work, all those real stories, all that good news, and it didn't generate, or if you add them all up together,
right, it don't come
it's
close.
not even 20% of what that one post did. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so the moral of the story is, if you want to get popping out here and you're not a girl, because if you're a girl, I'm gonna tell you like this is point blank. You just show your body online.
Hey, that's it. That's the magic. That's the magic key. That's it right there.
Okay, just show your body online. Easy for you, right? For us guys, it's a much harder situation, right? So I'm gonna tell you, like you not clickbait, because clickbait is kind of whack, right? Because that's kind of what happened, right? And I'm not proud of that. That's why I turned off the comments and I stopped sharing it, and I just let it kind of live on its own. Like, it could do its own thing. Right. It's already listed in the comments that I know that it's old, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I've been now that I saw that, and I'm like, okay, so you gotta play with words in a way like the way like a newspaper would play with words. And what they'll tell you, and if anybody who watched Spider-Man might notice, they'll tell you, if the headline isn't 3 words, I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Classic, James Jameson.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing right there is, that's part of breaking the algorithm, is making it like newsworthy stuff, something that's on the tip of everybody's mind, and then feeding that. That's really how you do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if you're going to be a journalist and you got to have some sort of integrity, you know what I'm saying? Because you can make clickbait stuff all day. Like, I so see it now. Like, bro, if I was a scumbag, I could so get the rest of my Instagram so popping right now, because I know exactly what to do, but I'm just not willing to be like that. Compromise. There is integrity. Yeah. I don't want to be compromised like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of that. So anyway, I've gone on. I'm starting to learn a little bit. I've gotten some good traction on the Instagram. But I'm here to tell y'all, if you haven't been using your reels on IG and you haven't been using the shorts on YouTube, you're missing out right now. And I'll also tell you that for all the TikTok nation out there, I think TikTok, it's good, but, and I know the numbers they're very they make you drunk, especially if you're looking for attention. The TikTok numbers make people drunk, because they're like, damn, that's a lot of people. It's it's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, a lot of interaction. Right. But that's not the one. If you're trying to really, in my opinion, if you're really trying to make a business venture, like a legitimate business venture, I think you have TikTok. You have a TikTok and it's doing something cool, but you got to get on those reels and those shorts, because that's where the real engagement is. I've never had so many people want to talk to me about something I said than when I did that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And like, some of those conversations turned into subscribers and followers and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it did what it needed to do. You know what I'm saying? It did what it needed to do, for sure. But that's what I wanted to say about that. I'm all about sharing and letting the people know, you know what I mean? And shit, if y'all hearing this and I'm missing a piece of the puzzle, and you know that piece, feel free to, hit my DM and let me know what piece I'm missing, because I would love to know. You know what I mean? Because
you should share that info. And I don't want to diss anybody, but like, I hear a lot of mumbo jumbo talk about, oh, you got to trick the algorithm, you got to play the algorithm, and it's like, no disrespect, but these are guys that I've never seen I'm not counting views. Like that's not how I, you know me. I like to
right.
do shows. I like to be amongst the people. So I'm never counting the views and nothing like that. But when you start talking about that, you're like, we got to crack the algorithm. I know the code. Like people talk about it like it's some secret science, like it's the Willy Wonka card or some shit. Like you know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, you clearly don't know what you're talking about because it's not working for you. So anytime anybody used the word algorithm, I just tuned out of the conversation.
Yeah.
But the way you just explained it made a lot of. It's just about being current. It's just about making the content more digestible. Pause. So that makes total sense. I think it's people try to speak on things they don't really understand to sound smart, so it sound like bull. You know what I mean? But the way you broke it down, now I get it. And I definitely need to get better at social media. I don't do none of that because, and it's dumb on my end, but it's like I come from the rap world. And I also want to shout out Rec Boy Shad. They got that show where they have the rappers come on and freestyle, right?
Oh yeah, that's it. That's in the studio with the Rec Boys. Let me hold on. Let me get into my bag. Hold on. In the studio with the Rec Boys every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Tune in Wednesday, 7 p.m. in the studio with the Rec Boys.
Yeah, my man doing his job. Yeah, shout out them because they be having rappers up there, and I respect that. But yeah, I like the way you broke that down, and I definitely need to get tapped into the algorithm game. I'm just, like I said, I come from the rap world where it's all about views, where dudes have no cars, but in their photo shoot, they got a Benz behind them, and they got a chain off Timu, and it's all. So I always associated that kind of thing with that, but it's not that because it's just a way to reach more people. So I appreciate you breaking down that info.
Yeah, man, no doubt. And look who it is. Look who we got here. We got the man himself. King Blakout has joined the chat and said, what up? What's going on, bro? We missed you around here. I was telling the people that you're going to be back. So don't make me a liar, bro. All right. So I told him you're away doing great things, though. I didn't want anybody to get it twisted. I said the only reason why he's here is because he's doing something that's way funner than being here. So he's taking care of life right now. Shout out to the Village Global Network. As a matter of fact, just in case we play some music, because I could do whatever I want on the show. This show is brought to you by Finally TV and the Village Global Network, powered by Zeno.fm, with additional monitoring by Online Radio Box. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, because when I play something on these channels, my friend, I don't get shut down. Isn't that nice?
There you go. And speaking of music and speaking of Mr. Black, I definitely want to touch on that list. At some point, we're not getting out of here before we review that list. Because that list gave me diabetes and high blood pressure, and Nelly is on it and Chingy's on. I'm like, oh my God. So we definitely got to touch on that at some point. But I'll let you go on with the formula and then we get to it.
No
we got to address that.
But I told you we could touch on it, but I told you it's not fair to come at just one of us because we both had our hands in that. So I would really prefer for Black to be here, okay? So,
you copping, please. All right, okay.
No, I'll get into, I will get into it. Don't you worry. I can hold my own. Cool, I'm just saying that I would prefer Black be here. But anyway, but shout out Black. He said he's gonna be back in a few weeks. He gonna let me know. And shout out to the Village Global Network, man. We all here. So if you haven't hit that share, you haven't hit that like already, please do so. It is so important to this stupid algorithm. You had asked me if I needed anything to talk about, leading up to the show, and that's good work by you. That's showing that you care. You were asking me, and I said, yo, I've been listening to some music, man. So did you listen to either one of those two albums that I brought up?
I keep it a buck with you. I drive for work, so it ain't nothing to throw it on there. Okay. I bumped the 21 Savage a little bit.
Okay.
I keep it a stack with you, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100%. I'm not. That's not my music. As a musician, I keep my finger on the pulse. I listen to everything. I will say I've always appreciated not always, but 21 Savage is one of the few from that little young tattoo face crop that we dealing with right now that I could throw on and you know what I mean? Appreciate, appreciate a little bit. Like, he's got a little clever, talks his shit. I liked his little project with Drake. I thought that was cool. Okay. I appreciated the production on that for sure. I'm not listening to him for his rhymes, so I'll get that out the way. I appreciated the production. I thought it was interesting that after an entire album with Drake, that there was no Drake feature. So I did further journalism and I looked up what was going on, and apparently the producer of that project and Drake had some static going on. So
okay.
that was interesting. I listened to the Schoolboy Q as well, and Schoolboy Q.
Well, hold on. One thing at a time. What's going on, Kimmy K? We got to do one thing at a time, right? So you listen.
Right. Sorry.
You listen to the 21 Savage, so we can start there. That's fine.
Correct.
So I got put on late to this album. It came out in January, like I always do. I ignored it, and I was waiting for the next thing, right? But then I started seeing like reviews, and I started seeing people talk about 21 Savage and this new. It's a American something, right? It's like American.
Yeah, American Nightmare.
Yeah, American Nightmare. Right? It's one of them, right? So they started talking about it, and I'm like, all right, because now the people who are talking about it are people that I respect their music opinion. They're like, yo, this might be some of his best work. I'm like, okay. So it just so happened to be, I just got a brand new system put in my car, like went from 4 speakers to 7 speakers, the whole 9, right? And I put in 21 Savage. And to your point, I have to say, I don't know if it was the system in my car, but yo, that production bumps, like it was going, and it was going pretty hard, and there was not a lot of skips for me on the first listen. Like, I would listen like, I used to try to listen like half the song when I'm going through the first time, and then I go back to the ones I like and I finish those up and I go from there, right? But if I turn it on and I don't like it, I'm skipping it like the first 10 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I can't remember skipping it more than once. And I appreciated the production on it. I gotta say, man, 21 Savage might have made me a fan. I might be a fan of this kid, man. You know why? And I'll tell you why. I could back that up. On this record, on this whole project, bro, he touches on money and hoes. He touches on family. He touches on friendship. He touches on life. He touches on relationships, all while staying in this pocket of his. And I appreciate him. And like you said, he's part of that one like era that we all kind of look at kind of like with a side eye, like, yo, I can understand him. Like I say this to Black all the time, like to appreciate you, I gotta be able to understand what you're saying. And like, right. You know what I'm saying? Like legit, I can understand what 21 Savage is saying off jump. He's very articulate when he speaks, you know what I'm saying? So like, he articulates his words well is what I should say. And he doesn't like mumble anything. So with that said, I like the project. If you are like me and you kind of like I said, throw that jaded eye towards there because they deserve that. Like Hollywood said, 21 might be that one that you could appreciate out of that whole bunch. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I'm an old school hip hop head. I love hip hop, 90s hip hop. That's just my lane. I got to tell you, from that point of view, I did not mind this project. That's how much I liked it. What's your thoughts on that? Are you surprised that I said that?
No, I'm not surprised, but I am disappointed. I think a lot of us, you know what? No, I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed because this is your job. You're not riding around like trying to holler at young girls who like 21. Like you're not. It's not a front for you. You're not wearing the tight jeans and trying to be 20. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I feel like so I would exclude you from this. But I feel like a lot of. And I'm a little younger, I'm turning 30 this year, so I'm not really an old head. I mean, I feel like an old head, you know what I mean? I don't mind being called one, but I don't think I categorize that way. But I think a lot of the people who I see, this is the one right here, I don't think they're coming from a journalist standpoint. I think it's more like they trying to kind of fit in with the new. And I just think it's okay if you're of a certain, and not even just a certain age. If you're of a certain age or if you're of a certain culture, it's okay to be like, yo, this ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? It's cool for what it is. Right. And I see a lot of people and that's where I feel like you coming from. But I feel like I see a lot of guys like sort of pretending like, yo, this is right up there with all of it. And I'm like, nah, it's not that. And it's that the thing about these young guys is what I respect about them is they're not trying to be that. Like, they're not trying to outbar everybody. They're just trying to vibe and make the music that they like. So I respect that. I feel like a lot of people are putting it in a category it don't belong in. And that's a little, because then if I say, yo, you capping, then I look like a hater. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, again, I'm not putting you in that box because you are a journalist. You take this serious. When you do interviews, I've seen you do interviews where it seemed like you know more about what the artist got going on than the artist himself. You know what I'm saying? So you're doing your homework. I don't want you to feel like I'm taking a shot at you at all. No. I think it's cool for what it is, but I don't think we should put it on any kind of pedestal as being more than that. It's just these guys don't take rap that serious. The production was what it was. The production was very good. And, to say it's 21 Savage's best work, you know what I mean? It's like saying, oh, this is the wettest water I've ever taken. You know what I mean? Like, it's all kind of like this. You know what I'm saying?
Let me
that's
say
how
this,
I feel.
I feel you, and I respect it. I do respect it. I'm gonna say this though. And this will be something that we'll have to prove towards the end of the season because I want a good significant time to pass.
Right.
This is gonna be talked about as best album of the year.
Maybe
he's gonna be in that conversation. Because like right now, as it stands, now the only reason why I won't stand on that saying it's the best one this year so far is because there's some projects that I know I haven't heard yet, so I don't want to sound like a retard out here saying something stupid. But it wouldn't surprise me if this album is already being touted as one of the best of the year so far. Can it be surpassed? Sure, it's not the greatest work ever. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying.
I didn't think you were.
No. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that. Sonically, he's hit a pocket where now it's appealing to even people like me. So he's figured out something, is what I'm saying. He's figured out something along the way because I did not care about no 21 Savage, a year ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now I want to ask you something. When you say that though, when you say it'll be touted as one of the albums of the year, and it very well may be, but is that a statement of the quality of his work or the overall quality of hip hop right now? What do you think it lends itself to more? Honest question.
All right. So, and to give honesty back, right? So let's put it in context. Remember, I have not really dove into 21 Savage projects in the past. I may have reviewed one of his albums with Black, like we used to do that and just review albums. So I kind of recall him coming up and he might have done like a joint venture with somebody that we reviewed. And, but other than that, I'm telling you, I would tune him out. You know what I mean? So I'm going to just say for just hip hop in general, I'm saying that this album probably will be talked about as one of the best albums of the year. Like he'll be on the list. I don't know if he's going to win it, but it'll get mentioned when people talk about, okay, some of the better albums of the year. And I'm kind of hoping that I'm wrong, to be honest with you. In all honesty, as a music fan, as somebody who wants to see it like do well, I want this album to be forgotten about because there were so many other dope projects that came out. You know what I'm saying?
Right, there you go. Yep. I'm right there with you.
Shout out to Magic Beats. I know you might not be here no more, but I see you tapped in. And shout out to Mercatrack, man. I'm telling you, that Instagram following and the Instagram, I don't even want to call it following, the Instagram community that I feel like I'm tapping into right now, it's pretty cool, man. And I do feel a sense of camaraderie in there where like, it might be a little monkey see, monkey do, but it's like, I think at the core of it all, they all really want to like support in those little ways, liking, commenting, sharing something, where it don't really come out of pocket, but they show a little love. I think they want to, but nobody wants to be the first one. You know what I'm saying? So like,
hell yeah.
So in the Instagram community right now, I feel like I'll have a post that goes out and it'll just kind of meander for a little bit. And then all of a sudden, like it'll get it, a little traction, little 10, 11, 12 likes. And then all of a sudden a day later, it's got, 33 likes, it's got 2 or 3 comments, you know what I'm saying? A couple shares, couple saves, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, you know, like where were y'all before? Like, what's going on? You know, like let's talk about it. So,
you know, nobody's scared to be a hater. Everybody's scared to be a dick rider.
Isn't that weird though? That's weird though. Listen, the other album was Schoolboy Q. That came out more recent.
Yes.
So you listened to that album too?
I did.
All right. Now you could get let's do the same order. Give me your synopsis.
Again, I'm gonna sound like a hater, but Schoolboy Q is. You know what I like Schoolboy Q for? I like them for the ignorance. And I don't want to say that. That sounds bad. I like them for the energy. I don't want to say it just so happens that he was at his most energetic when he was at his most ignorant. So I don't like that he's ignorant. I like the energy. I like the yeah. Like I like all that.
Right.
I feel like he's trying to grow and mature, a la Kendrick Lamar. I feel like Kendrick Lamar came in the game kind of like on some sage wise man stuff, and but there's definitely been growth. There's like Kendrick Lamar touches on so many different topics, and his albums are just these standalone pieces of art. And I feel like there's been a little bit of pressure on the rest of TDE to sort of fill that gap now that Kendrick Lamar is not there anymore.
I think so.
And this ain't gonna do it. That's all. Like I don't think this is gonna do it. It didn't leave me feeling any kind of way. Like when I bumped the Savage 21 Savage album, I was like, oh, these beats is dope. Like I was freestyling in my head, and then I think Savage is a good flow and pocket on this. I just it didn't really connect with me.
Right.
And I think, and again, I like to do the background, the research on things, and not to say this is research, but I really feel like they're gonna have to figure out something, or Isaiah Rashad is going to have to, you know, suck a few more guys to get TDE back to the level of cloud it was at, bro. Because they without Kendrick, and here's the thing though, I feel like Ab Soul is the best pure rapper on TDE. He just got to come with that project. I think that's what TDE is gonna need, because Schoolboy Q, I feel like, was their second biggest star, but this album ain't gonna carry him. It was cool, it was okay. Like I didn't hate it. But it didn't leave me feeling anything. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. I've been a fan of Schoolboy Q and his approach and delivery for a while now. And like the song Break the Bank is always gonna be my favorite Schoolboy Q song, right? Break the Bank is a crazy beat, it's got a dope video, and I like the way he flows on it. I was really looking forward to this album. I wanted to love this album. I wanted him to hear him talk his shit. I did not appreciate the album myself, and I think it might be just because I had high expectations and I really was anticipating it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't appreciate the first track being 2 minutes long and nothing happening. It was just an instrumental like that. Like upset me a little bit right off rip. You know. The first song, I forget the dude's name who's in it, but I didn't appreciate that. And then that song comes on where it's Thank God. And that song is the third track. That song kind of fire. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? I see where you're going with this. And I was kind of feeling it, you know? And then it just would dive down. Like some of the production on it is good. Like it's real like soulful. It's got some jazz cuts in there. Like some hard 808s are in there. It sounds good, but like you said, it's nothing. It's not like super impressive to me. And I was kind of hoping, you know, that like the Freddie Gibbs and the Ab Soul joints would be a little doper. You know, I thought the Josie joint was dope. The Lost Times, that was pretty dope. I like the Pig Feet with Childish Gambino. Like I'm just looking at the list right now. Movie was kind of cool, you know what I'm saying? But like all in all, like the project was underwhelming to me. And I don't know if I'm speaking from a disappointed fan because I was anticipating something dope, or if it just wasn't that great of a project. So I don't know. What do you say when I say all that? Is that what it is? Wasn't that great of a project, or was I anticipating too much?
No, I think it's a fair assessment. I wasn't really anticipating anything.
Good,
and I think we had identical identical takeaways. So I
Okay.
don't think it's that. And I've been there. I've been there where I'm thinking a project's going to be dope, and it's not as dope as I thought. But I can come back to it in a couple days, maybe a week, and I can, all right, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. Now let me appreciate it for what it is. So I don't think there's any bias there. We got somebody joining.
No. I just when I see my sponsors show up, now we got Sal in the building. He's House of Barbers. So, I just show them love. I always play the commercials in the beginning of the show. You know how I do, Sal. You know what I mean? But and shout out, we got Mr. Catch Rec in the building. So that's the other half of the Rec Boys in the studio tomorrow. Don't forget, 7 p.m. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube in the studio with the Rec Boys, 7 p.m. on Wednesdays.
I'll check that out for sure.
Yeah, man, no, them dudes, man. They we show a lot of love back and forth. And what I love about the Rec Boys and Mr. Catch Rec, and Chris, I hope you still here. This is what I love about them. They like to spit it, like they just tell you the real right there. So like in their posts and stuff, they get like pretty direct, you know what I'm saying? And they call shit out as they see it, And I like it because I'm watching it and I'm like, I know this ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right. You glad it's not you. Yep.
You know what I mean? Because we all, we do some of the same things. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm watching it and I'm like, I wonder who they talking to because I know it's not me. You know what I mean? So it's like, because when it is me, because it'll be a DM, it'll be a text, like, you know what I mean? What's good? Yeah. What happened here? You know what I'm saying? So like, they be calling it how they see it. And there's a lot of copycat shit that happens out here, man. People like studying the formulas and then going and doing their own thing, which, I applaud, man. Go and do your own thing, but like literally do your own thing though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, if anybody can relate to that, oh my God, you have no idea.
I could only imagine with the bands and all that, bro.
Bro, everybody, people come out dressing the same now. Everybody got the wireless input and they trying to do the tricks. It's like, dog, like I came up with it. Like I saw what other people were doing that was dope. And I said to myself, I need to come up with something dope also. Not I need to do that. Like I need to come up with something ill also. Yes. But other people is just, I'm going to do that thing. And it's like, not only does it make you look bad to the people who know, it cheapens whatever it is, whatever the whether it's a stage trick, whether it's a format, whether it's a routine, whatever it is, it just cheapens it for everybody because now the guy who did it first, he don't get the credit for looking original, and now you doing it and then you look like a biter, and then whatever that thing is, it's not special no more. So I definitely think people need to do their own thing.
Absolutely. It's such a simple phrase, but it's very hard for people to execute it. It's odd. But speaking about posts and Instagram, I had posted something recently on Instagram and you had said, yo, you got to bring this up during the show because I had a revelation myself about it. And that was a post where I was talking about, I said something to the effect of, shout out to the old me who would support everyone, even though they weren't supporting me. And I just want to let you know, basically, that man is gone. He is no more. Peace. Right? I'm not doing it no more. And you were like, yo, we got to talk about this because I got something to say about this too. But I will set it off by saying it is kind of like, it can be very like a mind fuck almost, excuse the language, but like, because like, from my point of view, I'm literally like from out of nowhere, from thin air, I'm sitting here trying to like talk to people about their different movements and their initiatives and their projects and their desires, dreams and wants and all that, right? So I'm coming from a place of, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just coming from me. I like nobody's paying me to do this, like, so like I constantly am supporting and showing and sharing and, and then you step back and you're sitting on a beach in the Bahamas with your wifey with the pina colada in your hand and, and you're looking at your posts and stuff and you're like, why? Like, all these people that I'm always shouting out, that I'm always sharing, liking, commenting on their joints, yo, none of them do that for me. It's a total one-way street. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, but why? Like, is it even benefiting me anymore? Like, is that part of it's not, you know, like usually the benefit for me is, okay, I interview Hollywood, and when I put the video out, somebody that rocks with Hollywood, you know, it's inevitable somebody's gonna rock with me. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna see me through Hollywood, and then that's the payment right there. You know what I'm saying? The new follower, the new interview, whatever it is. Yeah, man, it gets a little disheartening, and it gets to the point where it's like, I don't want to feel that way. And I want to share, and I want to like, and I want to comment on things like just free willy, just as I desire and feel like doing, without holding back per se or whatever. But it is, bro, I gotta tell you, it's like the simplest ways to help out and share and like shit, like people don't do it, and it's like they expect me to. It's like almost they're taking me for granted out here at Finally TV. So with that said, it's fuck y'all. I'm only supporting, like, you know, because like on the real, like, we're trying to take this thing from coast to coast. I'm in 191 countries when I play this show again. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Village Global Network. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need y'all to fucking support me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm tired of supporting y'all because it's a real tiresome thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very one way. You get tired of just holding your arms up. You have nothing in your hand, and hold your hands over your head and tell me how long you can do it. You know what I'm saying? I think I deserve a pat on the back for how long I held everything up like that. You know what I'm saying? But you do get to a point where it's just like, man, fuck everybody. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, nah. Like the next person, like I already did it once. I did it once. And shout out to them if they listen. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But I get a DM from somebody, artist. You know, I only get a DM to tell me, yo, go look at this post and comment and share it. That's the only interaction I get with them. I've asked them for interviews. I've asked them to come to the crib and do it. You know what I'm saying? I've tried to set it up that way. It's always I'm gonna try. But they always manage to send me a DM to hit the like and share their post. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I straight up, last time I told them, I laughed at it. I laughed at it, bro.
They hate that. They hate that. Ha ha. They hate that.
I did the ha ha. I was like, yo, you funny. And I walked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. And I'm off it. But go ahead, man. Tell me what you wanted to get off your chest. I'm here for it.
I could just relate to it, dog. That's all it is. You know, my situation is a little different. I put people, like, not saying you don't. I don't want to in any way make it sound like I'm minimizing what you're doing, but like,
no.
But I have a lot of relationships with a lot of venues, and a lot of these venues will sight unseen. If I tell you, yo, this band is good, they're gonna do it for you. Book them. You're booked. You know what I'm saying? And I've used my connections that way, and that's a risk because you know what I'm saying. Like if I recommend to such and such, yo, book this band, and you're late. Or you don't bring in the crowd that you're supposed to. You don't promote it right. Then I look bad too. And
or you're unprofessional.
Right. Anything. If it because my word in these situations carries so much weight, you do bad, I do bad. It looks bad on me. So I put myself out there like, yo, this band, these guys, this singer, da 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 da. And you know, not to flex, but we did 81. My band, not even including what I did, like my band did 81 gigs last year.
Major flex.
It's major facts and flex too. Major, like you can go look it up, Google it. So we don't really need you to throw us gigs back, but at the very least, you know what I'm saying? Like you can do something to help elevate me the way I've elevated you. Maybe you can't do you can't maybe get me a gig, but you could give me the number of somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or we had a show, maybe you had a show and it's a nice crowd and like you can let me get up there and do a freestyle. So it's like, all right, boom, you put me in this building. If there's bands I've put in buildings, I show up to their shows like, yo, let me kick around with y'all. Okay, cool. And it don't happen. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's me being petty, but this is what I'm thinking. we're all trying to get to one thing. We're all trying to get to maybe it's to retire our mother. Maybe it's we just want a nice car. Maybe we just want to play and have fun. But at the end of the day, if you're at a venue playing the show, I can't be playing that show because you're there. You know what I'm saying? I help you get there.
Right.
If you got a song on Spotify and I got a song on Spotify, people can only listen to one song at a time. But I'm helping them listen to yours. If you're not throwing me that love back, then it's like at the end of the day, I'm just kind of giving out props. I'm giving you streams. I'm giving you opportunities to make money, and I'm not seeing anything from that. Do I need to? No. Right. I believe in what you're doing, and I want to see you win. But if that love is not reciprocated, then at that point, it's like, what are we doing here? What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, the love ain't there, and that's cool. I'm gonna still rock with you from afar, but we gotta do better. Like when I did my interview with you, right? And you did. I hope you follow up on this, dog, because you talk like I was saying in the beginning of the interview. These rappers and a lot of the R&B people. I watch your show. I watch your show, bro. I've seen people come on here. And I have a song dropping in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, the song don't come out. What they wanted was they know finally TV is a respectable platform, and they just want to feel like they're at the Breakfast Club because this is the equivalent of the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying? This is that for us. You see what I'm saying? So they want that look, and that's it. They don't have nothing to promote. They don't have nothing to push. But I hope you follow up on that Mastock thing, bro, because that's a real festival. And those people, are people that really work. They put their sweat and blood in there, and they would love the opportunity to share with you about what they do. And they're gonna share it. They're gonna repost it because it's just a different world over there. They're gonna be like,
I know.
They're hyped for the opportunity. So I hope you jump on that. Pause.
No,
if you don't. If you know, it's all good too. But I'm gonna. You're gonna be able to reach out to so many different folks at that one event. But that's what I'm saying. We got to. What you hiding for?
What? No, I'm. You know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at a list of 191 countries. Shout out to everybody in Liberia, Libya, Lithuania, Mali, Mongolia,
Africa,
man, Nepal, Netherlands, Palestine State, Panama. I ain't playing. Peru, Philippines, Poland's out here, Puerto Rico. Oh,
hey, that's what I need. We need to go out there.
Sri Lanka, Somalia. Like, we are not playing Uruguay. Listen. Shout out to all the countries listening to us out there. I really do appreciate you listening on the Global Village Global Network out here, powered by Zeno.fm, with additional monitoring by online radio box.
Let me ask you something. Speaking of watching your show, you had the battle rappers on here the other day, and I like that conversation you was having about Eminem jumping in the ring, man. I feel like I don't understand why people don't think he can do it. You know what I'm
saying? I think that's just a silly conversation to even say that he wouldn't be able to adapt to what we got going on. First of all, the man is rich beyond our comprehension, right? His everyday life is so different than what I'm used to. He has the time. He literally has the quality time. I'm not talking about sitting on the toilet. I'm talking about he can sit there on a 70-inch screen and just binge watch battles for weeks and everything be paid, everything be fine, everything is gravy. Everybody got picked up and dropped off. Life went on while this man could sit there and just soak in the battle rap culture that he started in, that he still says he loves, that he still says he watches, that he still watches all of the media. He shouted out my expert opinion like 3 or 4 times already. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows the culture. So to say that this dude would get in the ring and get mollywopped by, Loaded Lux, you're bugging. He ain't getting mollywopped by nobody in battle rap, bro. It's going to be a good fight at best. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. And the funny thing is, like, people criticize Eminem now. Those same people who say, oh, he can't battle rap, they criticize his music for sucking because he only cares about rhyming intensely and he doesn't make good music because he just wants to rap. Ain't that what battle rap is? So how can it be that he can't make good music because he's too lyrical
Double-edged
but
sword.
he can't be. He's not lyrical enough to. It don't make no sense, dog. I think it's just blind hate.
And to acknowledge the fact that his roots are in battle rap.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows what it's like to stand in front of a crowd and have to rap your lyrics a cappella. He knows exactly what that is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Yeah, it was a good conversation, but I just think it's silly to say that, okay, look, Jersey got Real Sick. I think Real Sick is a dope battle rapper. He puts words together very well. You know what I'm saying? There's not even a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So anyway, man, speaking of that, how about if we jump over to sports real quick? You seen Jake Paul?
He's supposed to go against Tyson.
He really gonna fight Tyson, bro. He's out of his mind. Cause what you feel about Jake Paul trying to take on Mike Tyson?
Honest opinion, and I don't want to sound like a hater, but I don't think Tyson should do that. I think Tyson is a legend, and I think that kind of cheapens his legacy because it's obviously, you know what I'm saying? This is Mike Tyson. This is someone who is like, we all respect boxers for their athletic ability and the commitment, but Mike Tyson is legitimately feared as a human being. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's more clout chasing stuff, and I hope he doesn't do it because, again,
he's
that's
gonna do
someone. You really think so? Is it confirmed?
It's he took the promo videos, the promo shots, like it's a real thing. Man. You know what I mean? Well, and they've already set some parameters where like there's no knockouts. So like,
you see what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? No knockouts in a boxing?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's off the show. It's a dog and pony show. And that's what you're saying. You feel like that cheapens Tyson's overall legacy.
Yeah, I feel like it cheapens boxing. This guy, why don't he box like Charleston White or someone else in the podcast YouTube content space? Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's something I never understood, where like being popular gives you access to all these realms that everybody has to work for. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe that makes me a hater. Maybe it does.
Right.
But it don't make sense to me. It just like, I don't know. You go watch it?
Cha-ching. It makes all the sense in the world, bro. Cha-ching.
There you go. You think does Mike need the money?
Mike is trying to, I think my man is trying to get generational wealth at this point. I think he sees a legacy. I think he has really found himself, like I'm not even playing. I think he's found himself spiritually. I think he's connected with himself. He has forgiven himself of any regrets that he's ever had, and he now lives life as free as possible. You know what I'm saying? And I think he has these visions of supporting his family for a long time after he's gone. And I can easily see him doing stuff like this to try to strengthen that. You know what I'm saying? So, Mike's going to go down. Like, when it's all said and done, man, what a life, what a character, character is a great word, because like he really was, he's like a bigger than life character in most of anybody who's my age, and like within 10 years of my age, you hold Mike Tyson in a certain regard. You know what I'm saying? And it's everybody. There's not a person that says, oh yeah, Mike, yeah, he was nah.
Right. Everybody got an opinion about him one way or the other. Very strong opinion.
Well, I think if you're gonna have Mike Tyson haters, I think you have Mike Tyson haters because you have like unrealistic people who say things like, oh, Mike was the best puncher ever. Mike was the best, the great, and when people don't like that. You know what I'm saying?
So they're trying to balance it out, kind of.
They balance it because they got to say, okay, you're going to tell me he had better feet than Muhammad Ali. He didn't have better feet than Muhammad Ali. You're going to tell me he was stronger than Sonny Liston. He wasn't stronger than Sonny Liston. You know what I'm saying? And they'll start naming all these attributes, But the fact is, there's probably never been a more explosive heavyweight in boxing's history as far as just point A to point B, a punch just came, and you're on the floor now, sir. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. He's scary. He's a feared guy.
Yeah.
But you know something? You know what I always loved about, or two things I love about Tyson is that he doesn't take himself that serious. He can joke around. He can do the Bobby Brown video. And the other thing I love about him, and not to make it racial, but I love that he always paid tribute to Muhammad Ali. Even when Muhammad Ali had the shakes and all that, he would always say, yo, right now, if me and Ali went at it, I love that so much because so much in our culture, you know, you have the Kodak Black saying, I'm better than Biggie and Pop. Like, that's just the thing to say is I'm better than this. And I'm guilty of it too. Like, I'm better than this one and that one. But it's like to see someone at their height, because Tyson was, you have some athletes, artists, whatever, that are just the number one at their thing in the world. And at that point, he was still saying, yo, Ali is that guy. I always loved that about him. Always loved that about Tyson.
Nah, if anybody knows the story, you know, that's the reason, that love and affinity for Muhammad Ali is the reason why Mike Tyson punished Larry Holmes for 4 rounds. He could have destroyed him in 1 round, but he decided to beat him and drew it out for about 4 rounds just because Larry Holmes had beaten an old, washed up Muhammad Ali. And he didn't just beat him, though. He was like touting it like, yo, I'm the man. I beat Muhammad Ali. And it was like, you beat an old Muhammad Ali, though. And that stuck with Tyson, man. He let him, yo, you ever go back, watch the old HBO tapes, man? That was not pretty. Like, you kind of feel bad for Larry Holmes. Like, that, you know, that hurt. Oh, that hurt too. And then you see Tyson just, like I said, one of the most explosive fighters ever. To watch him kind of just not take the punch and just back up and take a step back and reset, that was crazy. Yeah. That was crazy. You know what I mean?
I could be wrong, but I've seen interviews with Larry Holmes saying he didn't want the Ali fight. He regretted it. So to hear, I'm not saying you lied, but to hear you say that he was, you know, bragging about it, that's kind of nasty.
That was a young Larry Holmes. Remember, Larry Holmes has 2 careers, kind of like how, you know, George Foreman did. You know what I'm saying? And that young Larry Holmes, he was very braggadocious about beating that old Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? He was. And I think that's probably why he regrets it, because of the way he acted. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of makes more sense to me. But, you know, we try to do our due diligence and be a little historical on here as best we can.
No, that's why I'm asking you. I feel like you would know more.
Listen, speaking of characters, yo, your boy Kanye. Your boy Kanye. You know, the musical genius. How do you feel about Kanye West? What's your elevator talk on Kanye?
I gotta, if I didn't have the cheap thing and I could turn it around, I'll show you. I got a poster of Kanye West on my wall right now.
Okay.
Because in my studio, because I have a poster of Led Zeppelin because I feel like they were the greatest rock act of all time.
Okay.
I got a poster of Marvin Gaye because I feel like he was the greatest R&B artist of all time.
Okay.
One would argue R. Kelly, but I'm not hanging no R. Kelly posters.
You're not standing on that?
Nah, I got James Brown on my wall because I think he's the greatest funk of all time, and I got Kanye West on my wall because I believe him to be the greatest hip hop artist of all time. And I have been artist, not rapper. And you know, there's a long line of people that rap better than Kanye. But when we talk about that run from his debut to Yeezus, really, but you can cap it at Dark Twisted Fantasy. And then to the fact that let's talk stats and facts. Let's talk pure facts. Don't think something.
You think I'm scared?
Not at all. I'm saying that for the listeners because, you know, you start showing love for Kanye, all of a sudden, are you a Nazi? No, we're talking facts. We separating the fact from the fiction. Let's talk about it. What we talking about? We're talking about facts here.
Right.
Jay-Z, Common, and Pusha T were all well-established rappers before Kanye West entered the game. And without exception, all 3 of those guys, their best work is accredited to Kanye's production. From Common's B album in 05, which I love, from The Blueprint by Jay-Z, which is generally regarded as his best work. The Pusha T only having relevance today when he's either dissing Drake or rapping on a Kanye beat. There's no other time we're talking about Pusha T unless he's talking about Drake or rapping over a Kanye beat. So, with that being said, I feel like Kanye West is established as the greatest artist in hip hop because not only of his body of work from College Dropout to Yeezus, but the production value he added and helping to reinvent and reinvigorate some of the greatest rappers of all time. And it kills me to see how he has become so much more about the antics and so much more about the rants and the music.
This is the longest elevator ride ever.
I'm gonna cut it off, but that's where I'm at with Kanye. That's where I'm at with Kanye.
What's that building in Singapore or China? It's like 400 stories or something. Is that the elevator? Jesus Christ!
That's the elevator. This is Kanye. This is Kanye. We talking about? That's
holy my guy. Everybody's sorry for me right now. Listen.
That's Kanye. That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
All right, I got it. All right, so Kanye, he's back on top. And when Kanye is on top, not a lot of people act exactly like how Kanye acts. And he makes sure, I feel like he does this on purpose because he is a musical genius. He makes sure that the song that goes has something that he can stand on. And in this particular song, Carnival, which is number one on the hot Billboard 100 right now, he is going at Adidas and Drake, and he's just letting it all hang out. He's letting everybody know, if you rock with them, you ain't rocking with me. F their kids, F everybody. Like,
oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah. I did see that.
So Kanye, man, all I gotta say about this is keep being super dope. Keeping us on our toes, I guess, because like for me, it's no harm, no foul. For me, it's an entertaining moment for me, you know what I mean? But I really wonder about that man and his sanity, and does he ever find peace? And you know what I mean? Where does he find that? If somebody like Kanye finds peace, like where is that peace? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that would be a whole like drama series all in itself, is where does Kanye find peace? You know? Dope dude. He is so mad at Adidas right now. It's not even funny. I guess I would be mad too, but he he kind of makes these beds, and like you were getting into it, it's about the theatrics and the statements and the attention. You know what I mean? He, if I said to you, Kanye West is an attention whore, yes or no? Come on. There's a short elevator ride. We're on the second floor going to the...
Okay, all right. Quick answer. I can't really say because I think he believes the things he says and other people give him attention. You can't really blame him for that. To me, it's an attention whore if you saying stuff just to get a reaction. I think Kanye believes what he's saying. He's just Kanye, so his platform is up here. I don't know. I mean, it looks like it, but... Hard to say.
Shout out to Vanessa Spearman checking in. I appreciate you. And Senior G says strategy wise, it's Kanye knows. You talked about it before. You want to talk about somebody who knows the algorithm and how to break it? Kanye.
Oh yes.
You know what I'm saying? He's that guy. I would love, like, what up, damn voice in the building. I would love for Kanye to be my publicist and my marketing manager. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know about that.
No, I would. Nah, fuck that. I would. Listen to me. So speaking about some rap guys, moving off of Kanye, one thing I like to do on the show too is just, kind of put people on to certain artists, whether they be local or otherwise, and just letting people know what I've been listening to and stuff. And man, I have to shout out Cool Kim of the UMCs, and I'm actually seeing if I could get him on the show to co-host with me one of these times. I think he would be a dope co-host. Shout out to him because he said the words to me. Hip hop is not whack right now. What it is that you're whack right now, because you're only consuming what the machine is feeding you. And I'll admit that all that stuff is whack. But if you go digging on your own and go find stuff, there's a ton of stuff out there for you to listen to that you'll appreciate, you know what I'm saying, as a hip hop fan. And shout out to Cool Kim because he was 1000% right. Hip hop is not whack right now. There are a lot of dope artists out there doing their thing. You literally have to go find them, and you almost got to tune your ear to it, man. I was telling this to wifey, to Angie in the car the other day. It's like when I first hear an artist, right? I'm listening to it, but I don't really I'm not really hearing what they're saying. I'm just listening to it, I'm vibing with it. I'm hearing obviously what they want to make sure you understand and hear, but I don't really tune into it until I listen to it 2 or 3 times. And I'm digesting the lingo. I'm digesting the cadence and the accent and the vernacular that they're using from where they're from, that all downloads on the second or third listen. You know what I mean? But once I'm there and I'm tuned in, now let's go. Let me dive into this discography and see what you got going on. You know what I mean? There's some dope artists out here, man. Are you familiar with Coast Contra?
Yeah, I know them from their freestyles.
Yeah, bro. I am a huge fan of Eric Jamal. Eric Jamal, you'll recognize him as more like the storyteller one who's always flipping his voice up and down and
the Busta Rhymes guy,
exactly. If anything, you could tell he's been influenced by that whole 90s era, Busta Rhymes. You could tell it's all in there, the way he delivers, he plays with his voice, and I love that. So if y'all are looking for refreshing hip hop, he said, they put out a lot of freestyle stuff. The group is called Coast Contra, just the way it sounds, Coast Contra. I think a couple of them are from Philly, but I'm not sure if they're all from Philly. But the one dude, Eric Jamal, is super nice with it, super entertaining. That's what I'll say. If he's not super nice, he's super entertaining to listen to, And so if you're a head like me that thinking hip hop has just been kind of whack and ho hum, I think Coast Contra is a dope listen. I think you'll find at least 2, 3, 4, 5 joints that you're gonna have on repeat. The one thing they do that I don't like, because it's a 4-man crew, is sometimes they let everybody spit a 50-bar verse, and the song is 8 minutes long. What are you doing?
That's that old school shit, man. That's Grandmaster Caz and them used to do that. You agree with that Cool Kim quote though? That rap is not whack, you're whack. I think that's a little crazy.
I understood what he was saying, and he didn't mean literally I'm whack, but he said I'm
not you, but the
yeah. No, I think, I do. I think there's a lot of truth to that, man. I do. I think that the state of hip hop, let's put it down like this, right? Because he said to me, back in the day, you had curators, and you were able to go listen to all the dope stuff, and I told him I didn't have no freaking curators, bro. And he was like, oh, word? You didn't have SNS, you didn't have Doo-Wop, you didn't have Clue, you didn't have Ron G, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you didn't have Who Kid? I'm like, oh yeah, I did actually, you know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, those mixtapes would come out every 3 weeks, every month or so, and it would be a brand new 60-minute tape of all the dope shit from the hood. You know what I mean? And whether you knew them or not, and now you know them, so he's like, you don't have that anymore because the curators are the machine now, and the machine is all about microwave, tats on the face, like you were saying, colored hair, vibing, mad visual, not saying shit, but talking about popping pills and doing dumb shit, you know what I'm saying, and getting out of there. So I do agree with him that the real hip hop, quote unquote real hip hop, it's out there. It's totally out there, but you do have to go seek it now, and you have to have people like me telling you, about people like Coast Contra and City the Great and Bottom Line. You know what I mean? These are rappers that are super dope, but nobody really knows about them yet. They still doing their thing, but they have work out there, projects, project after project out there that is listenable. You pop it in, man, bro. It's not that many skips because it's like everything you want to hear. A dope beat with a dope hook with some raps on it. I mean, that's what I'm looking for. You tell me. So yeah, no, I agree with Cool Kim. You don't agree?
No, because here's what I think, and I don't want to take no shots at Cool Kim, but I always thought it was a little funny that his name was Cool Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry?
No, I was telling Jeremiah that they do go crazy.
I think it's a little funny. His name is Cool Kim. His group is called the UMCs when there was a group called the Ultramagnetic MCs, and there was a Cool Keith in there. So I always thought that was a little coincidental. But I'll say that, like, I get what he's trying to say, but back at, like I said, I'm born in 94, so I can't even jack the 90s like that. But even in my day, you would have, you didn't have to go looking for it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you had MCs, no one's going to say Jay-Z's not an elite MC or Nas or M. You had elite MCs that were consistently being pushed and promoted and played on, whether it's MTV, the radio. And 90s, it was even better. You had Biggie. Imagine, I mean, maybe you can imagine, you probably lived through it, but like, I would be gassed if, like, I'm listening to Hot 97 in the 90s and I'm hearing Wu for the first time and Biggie for the first time and Snoop back to back. Now, you turn on the radio, it's every show is playing. I mean, not that you listen to the radio, but even what he said about the curators, like the playlist and all that, it's the same song being spun. It all sounds the same. Biggie sounded different. And Nelly made this point recently, actually. He was saying how his era was tough because, him, Snoop, DMX, Jay-Z, Eminem were all coexisting at the same time. And none of those guys sounded the same. And it was all dope and it was all different. Whereas right now, you didn't have to dig for it. You see what I'm saying? Whereas right now, you listen to whatever the equivalent of the radio is right now, you're going to get, it's all going to sound the same. You see what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So I disagree with him that it makes you or anyone else who is acknowledging that hip hop has fallen a little bit. I don't think that makes them whack. I feel like that's him trying to get a check or a feature from a younger, more. That's what I always feel like that is. I feel like that's him trying to get a check or feature from a hyper relevant artist. The way he explained it, that's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't interpret it that way. But we're able to do that. That's why we're two separate souls with two different brains, you know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely saw it the other way. I saw it for what he was trying to say. And because it made sense to me. And especially when I went digging and started looking and started like, because like how many of us will see a post by your friend that they shared and they're like, yo, this is pretty dope, check it out. How many times do you check it out? You don't really check it out every time, So I got into the habit of like actually checking it out and like, let me not just like this post. Let me actually click on this link and see what this sounds like, and that's how I found Coast Contra. You know what I mean? I also, have you heard of Black Bear Beats before?
No, I've never heard of that.
Bro.
Black Bear Beats?
Black Bear Beats. I'm putting y'all on right now. Black Bear Beats seems to be a producer of sorts. Okay. And he puts out like singles. So anything that you see of him from, or them, I don't even know, in 2024, I'm encouraging you to go listen to it. So he has some sort of affiliation with Wu-Tang. But let me tell you, you're a hip hop head. You're a hip hop head. Yes. So if I say to you, he's got a track with a dope beat with Method Man featuring MOP, you say what?
Whoa, yeah. Method Man and MOP is crazy.
Yeah. Hey, now check this out.
I didn't hear that.
I got one more for you that's gonna do the same reaction. How about if I told you he's got Inspector Deck featuring Onyx?
Inspector Deck and Onyx?
Yep. No,
that's a crazy,
bro, it's crazy.
It's original verses. It's not like a remix or mashup.
Bro, these are brand new songs, bro, and it's like those two in particular, I rock with heavy, especially the hook for the Wu-Tang, for Inspector Deck and Onyx, because the hook is dope, and they use the, how like it's like Wu-Tang, right? Yeah. So the end of the hook is Wu-Tang, Onyx. Onyx.
Oh, like the worst.
Yeah, bro. Yo, it's fire. Let me see what Jeremiah is saying. Hold on. You have to dig for it now because there's no Big Tiggers, 106 in Park, mixtapes, albums. It's all digital. That's it right there. Right there. They were the curators for us. Yo MTV Raps were the curators for us. And to your point, Hollywood, you know, they were putting the spotlight on dope things. But, you know, if I put on my 1989 hat and I'm sitting there watching MTV and it's 91 now and 2, there was quite a few times I'm watching and I'm like, why are they playing this whack ass commercial shit?
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
Like, why are they doing that? You know what I'm saying? But to your point, the ones that were dope were almost all timeless, bro. Like, it's crazy how we still talk about 80s and 90s hip-hop artists. And I think that kind of goes by the wayside and doesn't really get recognized for what it is. But we're here in 2024, you know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you that Wu-Tang and Onyx are on tracks and it sounds dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are timeless type individuals where their discographies are still playable today. You can play both Onyx.
We losing that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think Kool Kim is right. But you know what I realized when Mr. Jeremiah, shout out to him when he made that post, we are both saying the exact same thing. We're just taking two different approaches at it. It's the same thing we're saying is that you have to dig for it, and back in the day it was more promoted. It's the exact same, like we're saying the same thing. We're just taking two different conclusions away from it. It made me realize.
Can you do this for me, Hollywood? Can you read Vanessa's comment on the screen and then give me your thoughts on that?
Shout out Miss Spearman. There's way too many artists out here. It's the artist's job to market the music to the fans.
To that, you say what? Shout out to Vanessa.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Okay.
I don't know if you wanted a hot take on that, but I wholeheartedly agree. It might be a little more difficult now than it was then, which is, you know, and not to spin it back to me, but that's why I prefer to do the live thing because I feel like that puts me in a space where it's its own lane. You know what I'm saying? Like I avoid right. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole spot. You know what bugged me out about Spotify and all that when it dropped is that you now have guys that record in a place like this with an Amazon mic like this, and they're on the exact same streaming platform as Bruno freaking Mars.
I know.
I don't feel like that makes a lot of sense. I feel like there needs to. I like the SoundCloud Bandcamp era where there were designated platforms for new artists to promote their music. I thought that made more sense than now when, you know what I mean, you're recording on a budget, it don't sound as good, which it won't because we don't have the budget that Drake and Bruno do. And so while I agree with her, the only thing I'll say that sounds maybe like disagreement is that it's way more difficult to do that today when you're literally in the same exact market as Drake and Kanye and all those people. But I agree with her point absolutely. She said nothing wrong.
No, I agree with it wholeheartedly, actually. But it does strengthen the point. The other point that I was saying is that the machine is not the one pushing out the dope artists necessarily. The machine wants to push out the most lucrative entities, whatever that may be, you know, and it's always been that way. It's true. But underneath that, we had something back in the day, and I haven't heard the term in a couple of years now, and forgive me if the term is still out there, but back in the day, we had mainstream hip hop, but then we had underground hip hop.
Def Jux, yes. Duck Down, yes, you know yes, absolutely.
Underground hip hop,
raucous records.
You know, underground hip hop is where we lived, and I think a lot of the people in the '90s era that covet the '90s, they loved that because of the underground hip hop that were there. It wasn't, it was great. It was awesome when we saw people winning like Jay-Z and Biggie win, because we had been hearing them on mixtapes and doing features for so long on the street in the mixtape era and all that. So when they got their spot, it was dope because it's like, yo, we recognize this from this level and he's up here now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy, So yeah, we had that. But yo, that underground scene to me was everything. And I just think that's where hip hop has like I feel like that's where the age restriction comes into play. And I feel like the underground scene now, if it exists, is just a way younger crowd, and it's not even appropriate or for me to even be around that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I would disagree with you there, but one thing I will say, and I think it adds to my point about the whole Spotify. I think the lines are
everything.
The lines are so blurred now because of things like the Spotify, the DSPs putting everything together. But I don't think so, because let me show you something. I put my money where my mouth is. You never know. And you see, I wore jeans. I didn't wear no shorts because I didn't want to look stupid if I backed up.
Let me ask the people in the comments. Do you think, is there an underground scene for hip hop still? And is it younger or older? Or is it a mix? Am I just out of that mix? You know what I'm saying? But I want to know, for those that knew what underground hip hop scene was back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, does it still exist today? And is it younger? And it's a mix.
Here's why I don't think it's younger. Because look at this. You know who this is? You know who this guy is? This is West Side Gun.
Okay.
This guy, it was a Viper magazine. I spent like $70 because this is a British publication. And this guy, you know who West Side Gun is? You heard of Griselda?
Griselda, yeah.
So they're underground. Yep, they're underground guys. They're all in their 40s. So they are like the if there were still an underground mainstream designation, I feel like they would be the kings of the underground, and they're older. But I wanna throw something out there, because I think I'm having a bit of revisionist history myself when I say that dope artists aren't getting pushed. I feel like, and maybe this is a separate conversation, you let me know, but I feel like a lot of the artists we consider dope, and I think this circles back to your point about Coast Contra making 8-minute songs. I feel like songwriting is not as important as it was back in the day. I feel like you have now a guy that can rap, and he raps to maybe a soul sample that we all like, but rather than making a I Know I Can by Nas, or rather than making a Dead Presidents by Jay-Z, he's following more of the Wu-Tang mold of, let me rap on this 3-minute beat for 3 minutes, no hook, or maybe there's a hook at the beginning and the end. So I want to walk back what I said a little bit because it was a little bit ignorant.
Okay.
I think that there's also a responsibility on the dope artist, not just to be dope, but to craft that dopeness into songs, into timeless records. And I don't think that's happening. So I will add that amendment to what I said about dope artists not being pushed. Because hate it or love it, these bubblegum guys, at least they have a hook. They got a catchy beat. It might not be great songs, but there's still song structures that are catchy.
They're still structured as such, right? And that's a great point. That's a great point. And Jacob's out here. Shout out to 95 South Podcast. A lot of new artists put out music on Spotify and iTunes prematurely, and no promotion and marketing behind the music, and no snippets to tell a target market underground audience of what's coming. Ask yourself why Jay-Z left mainstream music and went back to the underground scene, right? And I think that's the other point too. I think a lot of people too, and I've said this numerous times, I think people from the outside got a little twisted and think that, you gotta be Jay-Z or Ludacris or Kanye, or you gotta be Travis Scott, or you gotta be Big Sean to really make it out here and make a living and buy what you want and live like that. It's not really true. You can make a nice, honest, solid living being the Rock Ness Monster from Brooklyn out of Helter Skelter. You know what I'm saying? You can live off the show. You can do what you love for a living you might not be buying yachts and all that, but your bills are paid, your rent's paid, your kids don't want nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, what more do you need at that point if you're doing something you love? You know what I mean? So I like to point that out too. But to Jacob's point, he's absolutely right. A lot of people put together music and don't even package it or market it or do anything. They just put it out. You know, they share it on Facebook and Instagram. They, you know, put it in the DSPs and they just call it a day. And then, you know, they just expect it to catch fire. And, you know, the music just ain't like that. So, man, we have hit the end of our show, bro. We had a couple more topics, but that's okay. Senior G says, I'm not any of the guys and successful and gonna make sure my folks win too. Right. I think I know what you're saying. You're gonna make sure that you're successful and we all win with you. And I appreciate that. I really do. Man, the season premiere of What We Talking About. A little weird for me, right? Because this show, as we know, we got my boy King Blakout, who's always in the mix with me, and doing the show without him is just always going to be a little weird. But I'm so happy that I have good friends. I've networked up a nice pool of people, talented folks and individuals. And I just want to say thank you so much, man, for lending your talents, your mind, your thoughts with me and my crew. We definitely appreciate it. We had good viewership today. You know, I know a lot of you don't see all the numbers, but we had a good amount of people watching today. So that's always dope. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. But I do appreciate you stepping in for Black, man, and doing a great job today, brother.
Thank you for having me. I apologize. Look, you can go back on Facebook. You get me talking about Prince or Kanye, it's going to be a long day. So I apologize for
elevator ride ever.
So that's my bad. And as an act of contrition, I will leave you alone about the list for now. But when I see you,
for now, we will revisit that. I promise you, because not only you want to get at me and Black about that list, but so do the Rec Boys. So maybe we'll make a live just out of that, and we'll just, you know, it's good. That list was put together by two lovers of music and hip hop. Some data, you know what I mean? So we could back up and substantiate certain, you know, claims and really get an idea of how successful certain artists were. And that's really what it was about. It was the top 50 most successful, you know, rappers of all time. You know,
was that the criteria? Just success? I don't got no beef. As long as that was number one, now I don't got no beef with that. Never mind. I thought it was greatest of all time.
The idea of it was, you got the ball, it's in your court. What did you do with it? That was the criteria. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I missed that part.
Yeah, you know, like if I was doing a best like my best rappers or my favorite rappers or who I think is in the top 50, that list is very different. Very different.
Okay.
You know,
I did catch that there was a commercial element to it. I just thought it was, and that's why I gave y'all credit, because a lot of guys like to completely ignore the fact that rich sales count. Like that shit, man. Look, this is all I'm saying, dog. Is it if you have a show and you charge tickets, if you sell merch, if you put your music on a DSP where people have to pay for a subscription, you are a commercial artist. So the revenue that you create, the sales, the stats, that does matter, and people like to forget about that. Like they like to act like, no. If you put a price tag on your shit, you're a commercial artist, so you gotta factor in the numbers when you assess somebody's greatness. So I do and did give you props for that, because a lot of people like to just throw that out the window. But it is important.
And that's kind of what it was about, you know, and that's why people like Will Smith make the list, because what he did with the ball when he got it. You know what I mean? And he did a lot with his career, like overall, like we were taking into account the acting, like everything, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like it's just that hip hop had to kind of start you, so that we went from there, you know? But Hollywood, we're going to get up out of here. Shout out to everybody. It's the What We Talking About podcast season debut premiere with my boy Hollywood Herb. Shout out to King Blakout. Shout out to Angie, Senior G, the Village Global Network. You already know what it is. Make sure you're following us, Hollywood. Follow me. do all those good things. We'll be back next week, next Tuesday, 7 p.m. You already know. Hollywood, you can hang out for a second. I'm just going to end this stream. Y'all be good. Peace now.